And we'll be going. Good morning. It's day 2 of the Athletics Kenya track and field weekend meet here at the Ulinzi Sports Complex. A day that will see most races being the finals. And on your screens right now is the 3,000 meter steeplechase, a race that has brought honor, heritage, and of course made Kenya be on top of the global rankings in athletics. And today being the second day, we are ready to witness a couple of it in this final. And of course, we'll be bringing you each and everything live, courtesy of Athletics Kenya TV. This is the 3,000 meter steeplechase. Afterwards, we'll have the 100 meters women final, the 100 meters men final, the javelin men and women throw final. You can see already it's being set up. We'll have the 400 meters men and women final, the 10,000 meters women final, the 800 meters, 1500, and the relays, the 4x4 finishing off this day. So wherever you are, welcome aboard, and we are ready to rumble here at the Ulinzi Sports Complex. And this is the first race on track today. We had the 35 kilometers race walk, men and women, happening just yonder on the other side of the sports complex. So this is the 3,000 meter steeplechase, a race that is currently ongoing as they navigate through these hurdles. Plenty of sunshine this morning, unlike yesterday when we witnessed quite a couple of showers in the morning. Seems to gonna be a dry day today here at the Ulinzi Sports Complex. Seven and a half laps of this one in the steeplechase as they take the first water jump. An early shower, as they say. So early days in this one, but already shaping up. This is the 3,000 meter steeplechase. Six athletes divided in different heats, and it will be all about rankings and the times posted in this one. So if you're joining us, welcome aboard, and we are live, ready to witness different types of races here at the Ulinzi Sports Complex. So welcome aboard. This is Athletics Kenya TV, bringing you all the action as it comes. Some of the names to watch in this race: Thomas Kibet, Thomas Kipiego, Festus Kipkroy, Nicholas Tsang, Joel Kipkoech, Titus Kiprotich, Philip Korir, Kevin Mwangi, Vincent Kipyegon, Timothy Kipchumba, Bernard Cheriot, Daniel Kiplimo, Toy Eric, Abraham Kipchumba. Just some of the names to watch out for. Five laps to go in this first heat of the final. An early pace there set by this young man in the Croatian t-shirt. Good morning.
Good morning, Greg. How are you?
Fine, I'm doing well.
Hope you had a good evening yesterday
Yeah,
after yesterday's event. That is,
it was a long day,
yes,
and I enjoyed every moment, and I'm ready to enjoy day two of this.
yes. I'm also looking forward to today's races, because remember today we are looking forward to the first Diamond League race of the season, opening up in Shanghai in China.
Javelin.
Yes,
Of course, it's going to be
Xiamen.
happening at around 2 p.m. to
Yes,
to 6 p.m.
yes, 2 p.m. Kenyan time, and we are looking forward to seeing Faith, Chebet, our steeplechasers, and of course Omanyala too.
And this being a very good warm-up to the events that will be happening later on.
Yes,
It is the steeplechase that is happening right now.
this is the event that has eluded us now.
Since 2019,
Yes,
haven't enjoyed any meaningful
we used to
global
dominate.
accolade
In the past, we used to know we have 3 medals
already.
at the World Championship and at the Olympics. So we were, before even the championship started, we would know we have 1 gold, 1 silver, 1 bronze. At worst, 1 gold and 1 bronze.
Now we struggle for bronze.
Now we're struggling for even that bronze medal. I remember during last year's Olympics, we got a bronze and we really celebrated that bronze.
The dominance of El Bakali and Girma,
Yes,
something that cannot be taken for granted, because they were for a long time in the shadows of the likes of Consensus. So
but remember, El Bakali didn't run a lot of races last year, but when he came back, he took his gold. So it's something to be scared about, that he doesn't do a lot of Diamond League races, but when he comes, he gets it right.
runner.
Very good championship runner.
Emmanuel Lemiso, with 2 laps to go, stretching that lead. Mr. Lemiso. Heading into the last 1.5 laps, Emmanuel Lemiso.
But
Born in 2008.
his jumping technique is a little bit weird. Just look at him approaching the hurdle. Just look at him. Look at the way he's approaching and going over the hurdle. He might get tripped on the trail leg.
Is he tired? Because I also see he's still a very young man, born in 2008.
Wow. Maybe he's learning the ropes. That was a very good
That's
clearance.
a very good clearance
Yes, on the water is a good clearance.
Emmanuel Lemiso,
When you look at the time, what does it say?
he's at 7:21, heading into the last lap.
Oh,
Seems to be very tired, but he keeps on pushing. I think this is where it all begins.
it will still. If we are to contend for any medal in this event, we have to run 8:05 thereabouts.
8:05. At the moment, him being a very young man, let's say, is barely 18.
Yes.
So this shows you that this is a boy that can come out really, really well if he's nurtured.
Yes, we just need that grooming and nurturing.
If you're joining us in the 3,000 meter steeplechase final,
The first event of the day on the track.
46 athletes in this one. I can see a couple more, so we'll have more hits in this final, and Lemiso knows that he has a chance. I just like the way he takes the water jump, because most athletes do deep into the water jump, and it is something that we can say doesn't really go well with them. But there comes Lemiso taking the last hurdle, and he goes on to stride his way to winning this one. Quite a slow time, 8 minutes 41.89 seconds.
Yes.
But
Quite a
then
slow time.
there's room for improvement. This young man, Emmanuel Lemiso, born in 2008, 17 years of age, winning the first heat of this final in 8 minutes 41.89 seconds, and of course reigning supreme in this race, starting the day by day in style. A 17-year-old
Yes.
winning
This is the final one.
this final number one, hit one of the finals. So Emmanuel Lemiso has actually, and he still has a lot to improve, because you talk about 805, he's done 841.
841.
So he has to start covering. Let's say he does an 820, then comes down.
Yes.
Yeah, so still a lot of green areas that need to be
Improved on.
polished,
Like the clearance, that one needs to be worked on. Greg, AK has taken a Diamond League format for all this series, where they choose the events that are supposed to take place, as opposed to the previous years where we will do all the races in a day.
You get tired.
But we get feedback from the athletes, and they're telling us we need to talk to them so that they allow every event to take place, because it's a build-up. Remember, we don't have 200 meters here, and for the hurdles, 100 and 110, since the series started, they've only run once in Thika. So all of them are saying it's a disadvantage that we need to include all the races. I don't know what's your take on that. Do we go the Diamond League format, or we go all the races?
To be honest, I think I'll support what AK is doing, because
Yes.
We are preparing for championships and
Yes.
of course invitations.
Yes.
And if you can have, let's say, all the races from 100 to,
Yes.
let's say, the 42-kilometer walk,
Yes.
35-kilometer walk,
Yes.
then it becomes very difficult to plan, because you look at the number of days also we'll spend on a weekend meet.
Yes.
Then it's going to take at least 3 days.
Well, yes,
And,
like the large turnout that we had in Nakuru.
Yes, because you look at even the 5,000 meters that we witnessed in Nakuru, 13 hits of that.
Yes.
300 athletes. Then what was the end game? I'm looking forward to most of these athletes maybe trying out at the county levels.
Yes.
And let's say the discipline forces and everything like that. And then they are ranked and invited for such meets. I think that can even bring in more quality than what we've been seeing in some races, where, let's say, the sprints, some of these athletes come and they don't post quality time.
Yes.
And you look at the level of competitiveness is not really up to standard.
Yes.
That's something that of course needs to be addressed, and I don't blame the athletes. Maybe they fancy their chances when they come to such places.
Yes.
But then if they don't try out, let's say, at the counties and other regions, the regional levels, then it becomes very difficult. So moving into the future, I think Athletics Kenya can always say that, okay, we'll invite the best, because out of this we get the best who will represent the country in future events.
I agree with you also. We need to up our game and be at the level of the World Championship crop, so that we can have a voice, so that we can be heard.
If all athletes were invited for, let's say, the Diamond League, it will be chaotic.
Sure.
Because, first of all, you look at where the interests are. You look at where what you really want from that meet. Like right now, maybe we talk about the 200 missing, but there's the 100. Most of these athletes taking in the 100 meters did a relay yesterday. And,
yes.
That was part of the preparations for the upcoming
world
relays. And it's something that we can always say helps them even in the preparations. But this is the second heat of the 3,000 meters steeplechase men final, happening here at the Ulinzi Sports Complex, and we are ready for heat number 2. Heat number 1 won, of course, by Emmanuel Lemiso, and right now we are gearing up for the second heat that begins right now. 7.5 laps of this race, and off they go. The first race, of course, won by Mr. Lemiso, 17-year-old, 8 minutes, 41.89 seconds. So this is final number 2. As they take the hurdle, and one athlete just bounced off the hurdle, hurt himself, he should be out. And of course, Coach Hillary always says that the way you take the hurdles really matters a lot, because when you land, you are supposed to land with a bounce, not land, stand, then start running again. And one thing that I'm impressed about this is that the number of young talents coming to this one is just huge. Slowly taking shape. The steeplechase, of course, as they take the first water jump. Six laps to go in this one. See some of the athletes tapping on the hurdles, and some of them finding it quite hard to navigate through, but we wait to see who actually breaks the ice. Leading the pace right now is Morris Mutiso. Wilberforce Chemiat Kones, very experienced steeplechaser, currently in second place. This Mutiso gliding through as 5 laps remain. Now it's the turn of Chemiati Kones to dictate the pace. Kones, very experienced, born in 1993. Mutiso falling into third place. That is Wilberforce Kones. Mutiso seems to have tired. Four laps to go in this race. Done 4 minutes after 4 laps. So it is Wilberforce Chemiat of Kenya Wildlife Service, KWS, leading the way. This is the second heat of the final. 3.5 laps to go.
Greg, just something that is happening right now away from athletics. The Pope is being buried today. and our head of state will be present for the funeral. Are you a Catholic?
No, I'm a Christian.
No, there is Christian, Muslim, Hindu, Buddha, and the atheist.
Though I attended a Catholic school at one time in my life.
Oh, so you're also mourning.
Yeah, the world is mourning. The world is mourning. And of course, our thoughts are with the Catholic family. Of course, losing the Pope on Monday, on Easter Monday.
Yes.
And he'll be buried today in the Vatican.
I've just been following the proceedings, and his coffin has been sealed. And I know you are very much into football. Do you know the last time a Pope died, an English team won the Champions League? And remember, the Pope died in April. So the last time a Pope died in April,
So Chelsea
an English team.
Was it Chelsea?
Yes.
Won the Champions League.
So do you see where I'm headed? Eh?
Yeah, I know there's Champions League next week. Wilberforce Cornes, of course, stretching that lead, seems to be very comfortable in that position. And just being reminded that the Anti-Doping Association of Kenya, Agency of Kenya, sorry, is on the ground.
And I went through, yesterday I had a chance, and today morning to have a discussion with ADAC, just to be aligned with how they do the processes. It's a very long process. They don't just test anyone. You have to be among the best for you to be tested, because the test is very expensive. So it's not just picking anybody and testing. They moved away from that.
It's random.
It's random, yes, but you have to be among the best. They can't come here and test number 50 or number 20.
They'll always pick among the best. Because
Yes, among the best, because they have the chances for that person going to the World Championship.
Who is not picked goes ahead and then picks up form later on.
No, it's not humanly possible that you will have to improve from maybe, let's say, 400 meters 50, then you come and run 44 in a month's time. It's scientifically not possible.
Miracles happen.
Not in athletics. It's science based. This is science. In sports, you don't see such miracles.
And
they are always a sign. Yes.
Wilberforce hits the bell at 7:45. What do you think will be his time? Witnessed an 8:41.
We are looking at about 8:50 thereabouts. 8:45, 8:50.
Slower times. You said there's some sort of science that you were studying in high school and campus about the aeroplanes landing on at
No, it does not affect the long distance.
Why?
Because they are going around the field. So one side is advantageous, the other side is disadvantage. So it equals out. I'm looking at about 8:45 as the predicted winning time.
And he takes the last hurdle, Wilberforce Cornes
Even
of Kenya Wildlife Service,
to 8:50.
and his team's away to come and win this one.
8:49.97.
Quite slower than overall. He's run a good race, and this has really helped him because he's very experienced, by the way. And that signals the end of the 3,000 meter steeplechase heat number 2. So the two finals done, and we are gearing up for the sprints. I know you really love this time. And being the final, did your athlete make it to the final? Hillary, did your athlete make it to the final? Yes.
No, he didn't make it. He was third in his semi, but there was another faster loser. He was ninth overall.
Ninth overall.
Yes.
But hopefully he's improving from.
Yes, we are working on it.
Of course, there are a couple of field events happening also currently with the track, and the Javelin will be taking place in a bit, and the women lineup is out. Dorothy Chemuetich, Faith Chebet, Caroline Anyango, Naomi Cherotich, and Kandie, Becky Chelarigat, Aklin Jerubo, and Yukabeth Chepkemoy of KDF. So the Javelin lineup is out, and be waiting to see who actually crosses the yellow line, rather throws and completes the minimum for the ladies. I think it's 45 meters, and for the men is usually 65-70. So we'll begin the field events, of course. There is the high jump also. It will be happening later on. But right now it's time for the 100 meters. Men and women final. You say we long for the day when we'll be having sub-10s and sub-11s in the women.
Greg, we have to be sincerely honest with the sprinters. We are very far.
Hard on the sprinters.
No, we are very far away
Hard
from
on the sprinters.
No, we are really far away from the world. The qualifying time for women in this event is an 11:07. We need to move away from this 11 to that qualifying time. To that qualifying time.
That's what. See, the lineup for the 100 meters women final is out. Whom are you rooting for here?
Of course, the girl on your screen.
Doreen Walker.
That is the favorite for this race. She ran the fastest time yesterday of 11.7 something yesterday. 11.71. So that's the favorite. Then we have the woman on your screen also, who should challenge. And then we have lane number 6, Sophia, who has the second fastest time from yesterday. So the battle will be between Lois Morara, Laventa Mutavi, Doreen Waka, and Sophia. And of course, let's not forget Brenda Masitsa also in lane number 7. Was Brenda red carded? That's another girl from prisons.
Brenda Masitsa
Was red carded.
She was red carded yesterday.
So that's the other girl from prisons in lane number 7. Then remember, like I always say, we have universities on lane number 8.
Coming up really well.
Yeah, so that's an advantage. Lane 1, Susan Nyambura. Lilian Auko in lane number 2. Lane number 3, Lois Morara. Lane 4, Laventa Mutavi. 5, Doreen Waka. 6, Mary Sophia. 7, Yvonne Mwangala. Lane number 8, Viola Wangare from the universities.
So Susan Nyambura in lane number 1, Lilian Aoko in lane number 2, Lois Morara in lane number 3. And then we'll have Lavenda Amutavi, Doreen Waka, Mary Sophia, Yvonne Mwangala, and Viona Wangare. So we are ready for the women 100 meters final. Who's gonna make it to the tape first? It is sunny. It is not that windy.
I hope they have a clean start.
Watch out for lane number 5, Doreen Waka.
Yes. Clean start.
cleanly, and Doreen Walker, just as we predicted, comes off the blocks really nicely, facing resistance from Lois Morara, but it is Doreen Walker 11.92. 11.92 for Doreen Walker, just about edged Lois Morara to second.
Was Lois second? Maybe let's wait for the photo finish, the replay.
She looks to be really elated. So, John for lane number 5. Once again, we can review that. Let's see.
I like the shoes from lane number 1. Clean start.
Go cleanly, and Doreen Walker, really just as we predicted, comes off the blocks really nicely. But then Doreen Walker just about edged out Morara. So it's Morara who finished in second and Mary Sophia in third.
Just as I told you. See the lanes that I told you? Yes.
So it's Susan Nyambura finished in 7th, but it was all about Doreen Walker. 11.92. The drone.
I told you about vortex yesterday. When the plane passes, then it creates a whirlwind behind. So just look at the times.
Affected Doreen's time.
No, now you'll see it in the men. But it's a small aircraft. It won't affect much, and it's very far away from the field.
Sylvester Simiu, Justin Isaboke, Isaac Omurwa, Dennis Mwai, Tyson Juma, Sabila, Clinton Aluvi, and Martin Juma. They'll be racing in this 100 meters men final. So the man on your screen right now,
Justin Isaboke and Isaac Omurwa.
Isaac Omurwa also. There is Tyson Juma. I'm surprised the likes of Hesbon Ochieng didn't really turn up for this one.
Yes, most of them decided to do another build-up. Remember, we have one more AK meet. So they're just preparing for that.
So in lane number 1, you'll have Sylvester Simiu. In lane number 2, Justin Isaboke. Isaac Omurwa will be in lane number 3. Dennis Mwai will be in lane number 4. Tyson Juma, Elkana Sabila, Clinton Aluvi, and Martin Juma. So I'm being informed Alex Masharia will be running in lane number 1. So in lane number 1, we'll have Alex Masharia instead of Sylvester Simiu. And Justin Isaboke retains number 2. Isaac Omurwa, Dennis Mwai, Tyson Juma, Elkana Sabila, Clinton Aluvi, and Martin Juma of Prisons. Clinton Aluvi, remember, runs for the Utawala Sprint Club. So 2 athletes from the Utawala Sprint Club in this 100 meters men final. So that is Justin Isaboke. That's Isaac Omurwa. That is Dennis Mwai from Utawala. Tyson Juma. Elkana Sabila. That is Clinton Aluvi of Utawala. And Martin Juma.
Where do you think the medals will come from in this one? Give me a wild guess.
I'm looking at Trisaboke and Omurwa in this race.
For me, I'll give you three. There's Omurwa, Mwai, Tyson Juma.
Tyson Juma also good.
Remember Tyson Juma and Dennis Mwai yesterday ran their PBs 10.45 and 10.46.
46, yeah.
And it was a close finish in the semis. Yes, and that was the fastest semi-final yesterday. So, and this is after, like I told you, I spoke to Juma and told him what I've been telling you, that we are very far behind in these sprints.
So
we have to up our socks. We can't be comfortable running 10.5 and chest stamping. That is a time that is run by Jamaican high school kids. Yes, we have to be very hard on ourselves. So he went and told me, Coach, you'll see wonders. So he came back and they improved on that. And that is the reality.
And if he does a 10.3,
that will be even better.
We'll be getting closer to
like I told you, our fastest athlete 10.0. Our second is 10.3. That's a very big gap in sprints. We have to close that gap. And you saw yesterday Marco Tieno got injured when running the relay. So we have one guy less. So we are going to the third guy who is Meshak Babu with a 10.4.
And also hoping that the stalemate in the NOC elections will be resolved. Things happening really fast.
For the development of the sports in Kenya,
yes,
we need to sort out that issue.
So we are waiting for start of the 100 meters men final. As the javelin throwers getting the last instructions before the start of the javelin on the other side.
Remember the outside the favorites we have Isaboke and Sabila. From the three we have the two also.
Also watch out for the Utawala Sprinters Club runners in the unique bibs, of course. They've done really well, and they're creating a monster by the way. They are creating a monster with the Utawala Sprinters Club. It's not going to happen now, but it will happen very, very soon.
I'm hoping so. And I will still insist, we need to move closer to the world. Let us not be comfortable running 10.4s and 10.5s. The official there is asking for running number for Tyson Juma. Was indicating to the officials. Remember, John Korir did not run with a bib number at the Boston Marathon, but still won it and then produced it at the finishing line. This is after him falling at the start.
So, who produced it?
John Korir. It was in his shorts. When he fell down, it came off and it was disturbing him.
So he ran all the way with the bib?
Without the bib number. The bib number was tucked in his shorts.
So Tyson Juma doesn't have his bib number on, so that delays the start.
Yes, they're saying he has to have the bib number for identification. That bib number is not for beauty.
From the call room, I think they are always...
They have to see the bib number from the call room.
So what happens here?
I think...
Is he going to be disqualified?
It's not humanly possible. He can run under protest and he'll produce the running number. Because it's not his fault that the running number is not here. He has been vetted at the call room 1, call room 2, and then before it's produced here, they must have ticked all this.
That should have been sorted in the call room.
Yes, that should have been sorted in the call room 1, call room 2, then here. Before this race began, there was a referee who checked them. Unless he just came from nowhere and just go to the lane. And he has a right to run under protest.
There's a delay in the start of the 100 meters men final because of a big issue affecting lane number 5.
The man on your screen, Dennis Moai from Utawala Springs Club, just 20 years of age. He might steal the show. He missed out on the Kenya team
For the
relays, but he has been favourite throughout the season. The track referee telling Tyson Juma that he has to produce that running number. And this one interferes with the psychology of the athlete. His mental state has already been interfered with. Even if he runs here, he has two things. Will he run to prove something, or he will be dejected?
Let me ask you, what really happens? Because if he didn't have the bib number, he should have, let's say, asked for it before. And you see, he's running back to the call room.
It's quite absurd.
Quite uncertain, because that's energy.
Yeah, like I told you, it has already interfered with his mental state. He has to jog to the cold room, pick the running number, then bring it here to produce it.
So the race won't start until he's back?
No, the rule says the race can start.
It can start, so
it can start without him.
Protest.
Then he will run under protest. But I see him running back again across the field.
Wow.
And this is just a lesson for all athletes. You must have your running number.
It's like a tool of trade.
Yes, that is your identifier. At the photo finish, they look at that to determine who's the winner. They don't say Tyson Juma was first. No, they say lane number 1, bib number.
They don't call names.
Yes, names come way after. As you can see, he has produced it, and they are going through it to determine if this is the right person who's running on that lane.
Remember, after this, we'll have the 400 meters. And then the 10,000 meters. All that will be happening in the 400 meters men final. We'll have Peace Waiyaki, Nicholas Kola, Edward Ngunjiri, Aaron Cheminingwa, Levin Jackton, George Mutinda, Julius Lobby, and Van Adalia. And Tyson is back in lane number 5. We are ready for the final.
100 meters men final at the Ulinzi Sports Complex. Remember, your hands have to be behind the line. There's a false start. Like I told you, whatever transpired before this affected the athletes.
Out. So This is going to be very interesting. Let's see who got. It's Lenny. And somebody's gonna go home. It's Justin Isaboke.
Justin Isaboke from lane 2 straight to the showers. Like I told you, Greg, any shake on the block will be identified by the machine. So you have on set position, you have to be steady, not shaking.
So Justin Isaboke has been dismissed. That means lane number 2 will be
Greg,
empty.
have you ever seen
final.
somebody in the international stage with the look at lane number 1 with the shot in a race? Have you ever seen that?
I'm seeing it today.
You're seeing it today. And you remember what I told you?
Alex, it's called who? It's called Alex Masharia.
Yes. We have to be up there with the world. And it starts with small things like these ones.
So you invest in yourself if you want to be the rest in the world, and if you want to be the best. But now it's time to find out who is the best in this race. Hopefully we'll have a clean start.
Oh my goodness, that is Dennis Mwai. Dennis Mwai, as clear as day and night. That is Dennis Mwai.
And he goes even before.
No, but you know the rules dictate that he has to come back and look at his red card. Wow. Maybe it's not him. Maybe somebody else flickered at the set position.
This is really interesting.
In Kiswahili they say siku za mwizi.
Let's see. It might not be him. It might be him. He's off. He's off. He's off. He's off. And Coach Hillary, you were talking about a time when we had 4 dismissals.
We had 5 dismissals.
In 2018.
Yes, 2018, 2019. During there was a trial.
Yes.
So we ended up 3 people running in the final.
So Isaboke out, Dennis Moy out, and
now the medals is between Omurwa, Tyson Juma, and Sabila.
Hopefully we get it right this time round.
Clean start.
Off they go. Omurwa straight away, coming off the blocks, by the way. Look at how well it is. It is Isaac Omurwa will be winning this one. 10.41. Improves on what he has been running. And
this is his personal best.
His personal best, of course.
With a wind of minus 0.4.
He keeps on improving, this young man, and of course he did a 4.8 yesterday.
Yes, he did a 4.8. Now he's doing a 4.1.
It's a personal best of 4.1, an official time, of course. But Isaac Omurwa following the footsteps of his brother and winning this one.
Greg, you know we always like to get feedback. Sprinters have been on my neck from yesterday telling me, why are you mentioning somebody who's not here? Why don't we just commentate on the people who are here? But I responded and told them that is the best person we have over this event. We have to mention him.
Masharia from lane number 1.
From lane number 1.
He was leading well, but then look at the resilience Omurwa has after the 50.
And you can see Tyson lost it when he tightened up.
Started a little bit. Just started a little bit. Tyson Juma, of course, finishing 3rd. And look at Omurwa. If at all he stayed upright, he could have done a 10.3. but Sabila also doing very well, the man from the National Youth Service, to finish second.
Yes, and Tyson Juma, who tightened, coming in third.
It's now time for Javelin.
Indeed, while we have the track events that are ongoing, we also have field events, which are street finals. Now on your screens, we have the men's javelin throw that is taking place here at the Ulinzi Sports Complex. Remember, this is the 5th Athletics Kenya Betika track and field meet that is being held here in Kenya's capital of Nairobi. The event comes to an end today, having begun yesterday, having had a couple of events that were held yesterday. We've just had the finals of the men's 100 meters taking place. Two athletes were disqualified. Too much tension when it comes to the sprints. But all in all, that is in a day's event. And sometimes some of these things happen and they are beyond you. Just to take you up to speed with the athletes who will be taking part in some of the field events. Yesterday we also had the triple jump for the men, which attracted 8 participants. Well, there you go. That is a men's javelin throw. Very tactical. Throws it away. Let's have the measurements and see how many meters he's managed to throw.
Welcome back, Vic. How are you doing? How was your day yesterday evening?
Everything was okay. I just kept thinking and imagining of the men's 100 meters finals. I love being a sprinter at my youthful days.
Then what happened?
I opted to follow a dream career. So the rest is history. I equally also had a stint at rugby, but anyway, in Nakuru I gave my story and I was telling Greg how I schooled in Central Province. Then that time when you go, I went to Nyandarua district, and then now we came for the provincials at Mangu High School. And now representing representing that particular district, came for the provincials, and I'd never used the spikes before, and it'd been there in camp for I think a week or so. I think about 6 days.
Yes.
So today afternoon, on the eve, a day before the finals, we were brought spikes.
Yes.
I'd never used spikes. I think I did, is it an 11.46 or a 10.46? I'm not so certain of the timing at the time.
Yes.
And I was position number 6. So meaning
if you had continued with that path, maybe you would have been
and
biggest shots.
and remember, you used to sprint jua kali. Either come
Yes.
use your own socks, or
Yes.
you run barefoot, or whatever kind of shoes that you have.
I
So
understand.
basically, also that brings about the issue of sports development
Yes.
and preparation. Because how
Yes.
do you give an athlete something that they've never used before, a day before the race? And I feel it really affected me, because it was my first time getting to that stage of the provincial level.
Yes, yes.
And I remember I noticed there are schools, I don't want to mention for obvious reasons, but there are schools that were there,
Yes.
and you realize someone does up to their secondary four. I mean, they do their form 4, then they come back
Yes.
to form 3, just so that they can get us loaded and go to the either provincial games or the national games.
Yes.
So I saw bearded men there, very old guys who are competing with me, and I definitely knew these guys at my age. But
You
anyway,
know,
that's a story for another
and
day.
remember that age cheating is an offense nowadays. You can't be banned just like other people are banned for doping. So age cheating is being curbed at the world stage. So there are changes that have been made, and it's now a crime.
Yeah, which is there, because probably some of us would not be here today.
Yes.
Be elsewhere benefiting from sports in a
And the
different
ADAC is
dimension.
so serious about it, and they have suspended a couple of athletes, just
Yeah,
that it has
that's-
not been announced because of that age cheating. They trace back any gap that you have, and they flag it. So this
Yeah.
is 400 meters men final. Yesterday I talked about Roger Souma in the 400 meters, and today morning when I met him, he told me I've let the cat out of the bag. So Uma, our apology for that, sincere apology for that. But like I said, let us not always put the bad stories out there. Let us also talk about the good stories.
Yes.
But I know your situation, and we are sorry for that. We are with you. Tuko pamoja, Roger Souma.
Lane 6, we have is it Dennis Mutinda? He has a 45.88.
George Mutinda, that was a
George Mutinda.
mistake. He has a 46.11.
Oh, it's a 46.
0.11. That was a typing error, and it was corrected.
So the 400 meters men's final have Pispa Yaki, Isaiah Sayaten, Edward Gunjiri, Aaron Cheminingwa, Kevin Jackson, George Mutinda, Julius Lobby, and Ivan Adalia.
Cheminingwa, the fastest man over 800 meters in Kenya last year, running the 400 meters. For this one, I predict lane 4, 5, or 6. That will produce the winners. Lane 4, 5, 6.
I'm eager to see Mutinda, seeing what he did yesterday through the hits.
Yes, I really look forward to seeing a 45 from him, if possible, today. And like I told you, when the plane passed, then you saw the sprinters, then you saw the time. It was at 10:41. It has happened again here. Let us see the times in the 400.
Vortex. But today there isn't too much activity compared to yesterday.
Yes.
Silence at the stadium. As we wait for the start of the 400 men's final. Off they
Clear
go.
start.
You can see the Mutinda is sprinting there, closing in the gap, already overtaking the athlete in lane 5. There you can see Mutinda. Cheminingo also is coming there. Past the 200 meters mark, you can see Mutinda coming on the front. Mutinda is now on the lead, and if he persists and maintains the lead, he's gonna take it so easily. Mutinda, there you have Mutinda. Yeah, you have Mutinda. And indeed,
That's George Mutinda in the lead.
Mutinda wins it. Let's look at his time. 45.82
seconds.
That's a personal best for him.
Yes, personal
George
best.
Mutinda, 45.82, coach. Indeed, Mutinda has come through as an underdog, and seems to be the sensation now. Over the distance, posting a 45.82, beating more seasoned athletes. Coach,
Yes,
who is this Mutinda?
he's a boy from the universities.
He's from the universities category.
Yes, and like
So
I
he's
told
coming
you,
in as an underdog.
like I told you right away from Thika, I told you watch for this boy. As a coach, you see the signs and you see a talent and you pick it very much earlier. So I've been rooting for this boy ever since, and I've never met him, I've never greeted him, but I just look at the results and see that this is an upcoming, and it's just a matter of time before he blossoms.
As we wait for the replay, I'm just looking at how he negotiated the first corner, the second corner. By the time he was doing 250 meters, he was already leading.
Yes, and when you can see his improvement, the boy has come from a 47.1 in Machakos early in February, and we are in April, is running a 45.82.
Coming here, he had a 46.
But the problem is, like I told you, he has not been tested out of competition by ADAC. ADAC doesn't test just anybody. So from I don't know what will happen.
There you have
Yes,
the
our replay.
So basically, if he would have made it into the World Relays team, perhaps he would have added more value to the team.
He is more valuable right now even. Going into the World Championship, I think we need to root for this boy to be tested out of competition, and maybe will help us during the World Relay. Hopefully we make it to the World Relay.
It brings again the topic that we've been discussing over through the series. Me, you, and Nakuru also. Coach Ouma mentioned it about sometimes it's not always about genetics.
Yes.
Looking at this boy, where he comes from, it's not always about genetics, because we know there are notable names that have been dominating in sprints, but now you see he's just come and he's a young guy and he's now performing. Look at him. This is a second corner that he's negotiating, and you can look at his strides. There he goes. He's now in third position. There he is. I mean, by the time he was doing the 200 meter,
he was just relaxed. Look at the way he's relaxed running, coming into the curve. There's a lot of room for improvement for this young man. If he's taught well, we will see him running even a 44.
I agree. Yeah, he can do a sub 45. So Mutinda wins the 400 meters men's final in a time of 45.82. Mutinda is from the university's category. Remember, this is also an open event where individual athletes are also allowed to take part and race and compete with the kings and queens. Ongoing inside the field, we have the javelin throw for the men. Shortly after, we'll have the 400 meters for the women. This is a final. For the javelin, we had 27 athletes registering for this event. We had Stephen Mutunga of KWS, Kevin Wekesa, Nelson Yegon, Hilary Koech, Brighton Elizio Mondi, Gibson Langat, Colin Stowett, among others. That is Sheila from in lane 7 from Kenya Prisons.
Lane 1, Maureen Wafura replaces Nivian Mishira in the 400 meters. Maureen Wafula, lane 1. Yvonne Otunga, lane 2. Winnie Makori, lane 3. Damaklin Bonareri, lane 4. Sarah Mora, lane 5. Sarah Ndirangu, lane 5. Sheila Makungu, lane 7. And then Nancy Mwangi, lane number 8.
From NYS.
400 meters women final.
This Yvonne Otunga is warming up. That's Winnie Makori in lane 3. Is having a last prayers. In lane 4, we have Domaklin Bonareri. Also another seasoned athlete over the distance. Lane 5, we have Sarah Mora. There goes the order for them to go on to their marks. Silence in the stadium. And this is the moment as a sprinter, rather as an athlete, you say your last prayers, especially being 400 meters. You might not have much time to pray.
True.
Very brilliant, nice, and artistic, innovative shot there. Seems to be some delay in the start. I don't know if Nancy Mwangi did go up. Looks it's gonna be a fast one, coach.
Yes, can see Ndirangu has gone all out at the backstretch.
Rahab Ndirango. Rahab Ndirango is there. 200 meters, past the 200 meter mark. 150 to go. Onto the 100 meter mark. Rahab Ndirango is not relenting. Now Sarah Mora has come in. Sarah Mora is on the lead. Sarah Mora. You can see Mora's stride. Indeed, Mora is going to take this one. Well, let's wait and look for her time. 52.82
seconds. Big improvement from a personal best, official personal best of 57.
Sarah Mora wins this in a time of 58.82 seconds. After this, we'll have the 10,000 meters for the women. It is a straight final. On your screens, you have the Javelin throw for the men. Remember, this event registered a total of 27 athletes. Perhaps not all of them are now competing because remember, gets. So now I want to go over to my colleague Charity, who's having a side interview. Well, indeed.
The fifth track and field event. I'm joined here by the winner for the 400 meters women flat, Sarah Mora. Sarah, performance ya leo compared na ya jana unafilaje?
Chali nasema ya leo imekuwa sawa. Jujana venye nikiangalia kweti yangu like nilikuwa nakimbia peke yangu. Lakini at least leo nimepatana na specialist wa 400 wamenibush. Nimekimbia at least nimekimbia my pipi. Yeah.
So going forward pengine nini itaendelea tena kuongezea to ensure that you hit the world championships time?
Chali nilikuwa nataka kuwork on speed na nimeona iko sawa kabisa. So ni kwenda kuendelea na mazoezi kuongeza endurance kidogo. Yeah.
All the best and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
That was Sarah Mora. She's saying that she's happy that she's been able to hit a personal best in the 400 meters, and she's saying that she'll be going to work hard on the speed to ensure that she clocks the time she needs to qualify for the World Championships slated for September. Over to you, Mlemi and Victor.
Well, indeed, thank you very much, Charity. We've heard from Mora, the 400-meter women's champion, having posted a personal best of 48.82. And remember, just like Mora, most of these athletes are using this event or these events in preparation for the World Championships. She looks and seems and sounds very elated with her time, how she ran. On your screens now we have the 10,000 meters women's final, which will be a straight final. Well, just having the last minute preparations before the race begins. So last minute instructions before the race gets underway. There they go. Rather quite a slow start there. Athletes are just jogging. Lillian Cheptum Dominic of Central, born 1989, is now on the lead. However, we have a winning board from Zima Heart Runners. Zima Heart Runners has a total of 5 athletes in this particular race. And we have Anatasha Cheptol Langat of Lemotit Camp. We have Silmia Changeiwo of Zima Heart Runners, Viola Jelimo of Zima, Gladys Jerob Kibor of Zima, Winnie Buot of Zima as well. Brecho Wanjikomba of K-Select Top Athletes Team. We have Beth Kerubo Kabaragi of Nyanza North, Millicent Kemoto Nyaberi Nyanza South, Lina Cheptum Dominic of Central, Beatrice Chebet of Police, Sharon Cherotich of Nairobi, Rebecca Mwangi of Prisons, Spiritica Ganda of Ngong, Miriam Chemutai Kibet of Lemotit Camp, and Domtila Cheruto of Nala Track Club. Total of 15 athletes there. Already we have the gap opening up slowly with 1 lap to go. Sorry, them having covered 1 lap. So we have 24 laps to go. Sylvia Changeiwo is now on the lead. Sylvia Changeiwo is an athlete from the Zenzima Heart Runners Club, born 1999. That is the 3rd of January 1999. Behind her we have Gladys Jerob Kibor, also from the Nzima club. And more often than not, when you see athletes run in this particular way, they are probably besetting for one of their colleagues. So there could be a very high possibility not all of them will be there up to the finish. So 2 laps gone. And so you can see the two athletes there on the lead. That is a Gladys Cherop and Sylvia Changewa now on the lead. A distant third, we have Anatasha Cheptolangat of the Lemotit camp. Remember, we are coming to you live from the Ulinzi Sports Complex here in Nairobi. We have clear skies today, not cloudy at all. A beautiful Nairobi skyline there in the horizon. You can see the central business district of Nairobi, the iconic and towering buildings, the newly built Bunge Towers on the left of the announcing booth, as well as Wilson Airport, which has a bevy of activities, planes flying in, flying out, taking off. Viola Jelimo has now come to the front. She is now on the lead. Remember, as I've mentioned, these two athletes train under the same stable, that is Nzima Heart Runners. Shortly after this race, we'll have the 800 meters. The Nzima Heart Runners was founded by Alistair Davidson, and it mainly consists of women, and it was formed during the COVID-19 pandemic period. One of the notable athletes who's gone, who's come through this unit is the late Olympian Agnes Tirop, who died in unfortunate circumstances. May her soul rest in peace. The athletes are on their fourth lap. Gladys Cherov-Kibor is there on the lead, born in 2003. That is the 12th of June 2003. Still leading. Following closely is Sylvia Changeo. They seem to be jogging now, having opened a 40-meter gap. 5 laps down. 6 laps down, sorry, 19 more to go. Over the years, Kenya has continued to dominate in the 10,000 meters, rather in the middle and long distance races, including 10,000 meters. So while these athletes will be here, running here at the Ulinzi Sports Complex, I know they're looking to replicate the prowess of other athletes, seasoned athletes as well. In third position, we have Rebecca Mwangi of Prisons, born in 2001. In fourth position, we have coming in the outer lane just to ensure she gets podium finish. We have Domitila Cheruto. And indeed, the second pack is trying to catch up with the leading pack, just slowly accelerating and coming forward. So Domtila Cheruto of Nala Track Club, born in 2005. Very young and energetic athletes. Also following closely is Miriam Chimtai Kibet of Lemotit Camp. Nine laps have already gone. Charity is ready with an interview.
Thank you so much, Victor Ogale and Mulemi. As we continue with the 10,000 meters for men, I'm joined here by Dr. Bernard Ouma, who is also a coach in the middle distance races. He is a veteran coach. He's coached the likes of Peter, Timothy Cheriot, Vincent Keter, who competes in the prison. Today we'll be doing a different topic on him. Coach, there was some bullying that was going on for the sprint athletes because of their physique. Mentally, how does that? How is the athlete supposed to handle that?
Thanks a lot, Charity. The question is it requires a huge scope of reply, if you ask me. You know, there's what's called morphology. This is now the body positions. And then, you know, sprint events has got an aspect of physiological demands where there are a number of motor units that you need to work on. And when I talk of motor units, under the muscular structure of a sprinter. At times, part of these physiological impressions are through birth, which you cannot change, but a number of them are through, could be right, or at times the wrong load training, during the gym training as well. I don't think anybody in their right mind can athlete because of how they look. You see, running at times is personal and a personal decision to train and run. So probably what I would say to athletes is to get qualified coaches, from strength training coaches to teach them how to do strength loads specific to their events, and good coaches as well for running as well. Because see, running is a career, and a career, it's sad that the coaching profession is abused by ourselves, because of probably lack of structural qualifications that qualifies you to be a coach. A coach, just like a medical doctor, just like a teacher, is a profession that requires a lot of rigorous education, training, and of course a little bit of apprentice, which would say that I was an athlete, I was a running athlete, I'm a swimmer, I can coach. But that does not qualify you to be a coach. You have to go through some high level training, because see, you're dealing with the human physiological adaptation, which is life and death, so you don't just come and do trial and error. Thank you.
What are some of the courses that the coaches must do?
I know there are programs that every federation has a program. However, there is the fundamental structural scientific courses that people have to do. For example, physiology. I'm a physiologist by profession. I mean, this involves a lot, and physiology is huge as well. We got the molecular, we got exercise physiology, and many more. And apart from that is the psychological part of it that caters for mental health and a number of issues as well. So this is a huge program that takes you for many years to understand. If you go anywhere, even myself, if I step in Europe or US, for me to be allowed to coach any child, I have to go through a program that will qualify me to be a coach. For you to be a coach is not just, it's sad that it's abused locally. Anybody comes in and say, coach. You walk into a gym, anybody who has a muscular physiological appearance like me, say, oh, I'm a coach, I'm a trainer, I'm a nutritionist, and they get away with it. So probably we may blame our system for not putting proper structures to identify who is a coach. That's why you're having quack doctors as well, because there's room where they do. They quack everything all through. So it is sad that some people are belittling other athletes because of their physical appearance. Yeah.
Sometimes we see some athletes here getting injured, and some of them are career-ending injuries. As a physiologist, how best is it for the sports psychologist? How best is it for them to handle it?
Injury, the number of injuries. This requires some process of diagnosis through a professional. Again, you find doctors, we find physios, you find orthopedic doing diagnosis. So what probably people lack, which is normal with any career, is the patience to let the process go, from doing the first aid to going and seeing a right doctor, and even managing the injury. Every injury has got a duration to get healed, but see, people are rushing against time. People are rushing against programs of event, be it athletics. You find, for example, this year we have World Championships. Maybe somebody wants to qualify for the World Championship, and the restlessness that I'm losing on training will drive somebody to go back when probably the injury has not healed up well. And again, it comes to us as coaches as well, return to play as well. It has a process. You see, we've got the physical exertion that somebody feels, oh, I think I'm feeling okay. But as a professional, you have to take them through process, procedurally, stepwise, to come into the playing field and to return back to proper training. So again, professionalism, nothing else. Yeah.
Aside from that, the World Championships, we are starting the Diamond League season. We've seen Vincent Keter yesterday competing. He did a number of races, a long and a middle distance race. What are your preparations in the 1500?
Yeah, 1500 has been a very tough race. Sad that the last senior medal that we won as a country was the chariot from the previous world champion, I think, which is Doha, and 2020 Olympics when he got 2022, which happened, 21, is it? 21, 22, which happened in Tokyo when he got silver. The competition is very high, so we've adjusted our training and see if it will work. Everything is about putting a number of programs, the cycle, the system into place, and see how it goes. So the Diamond Leagues are starting today, and we will see going forward how things are looking out. You know, running is purely individual. The coach has done a lot of it, and now the execution is very important. So after that, then we'll realize probably the program we set up this year is working for us, or we need to adjust something. We still have some time to do adjustment, so we're using the weekend meet like here at Ulinzi as build-ups towards the main stage. Yeah.
Is Timothy expected in any of the Diamond Leagues that are starting?
Obviously, we have to do that. Yeah, we have to do the Diamond Leagues going forward. We are yet to decide. We're looking for a race. Probably one may come next week. After that, then we come up our plan of slowly. Championship is very important to us this year. Yeah.
Thank you so much for your time, Coach. It's wonderful catching up with you. We're looking forward to having more discussions with you.
Asante sana. Thank you very much, Charity.
Thank you so much. That was Dr. Bernard Ouma, who is the coach in the middle distance races. He is the coach for Timothy Cheriot, Vincent Keter. He is also coached a number of athletes who have won medals for this country. He's talking about the importance of professional coaches handling athletes, because it touches a lot on their psychological and also physiological states. Over to you, Mulemi and Victor, as we continue with the 10,000 meters with 9 and their remaining 9 laps for the race to end.
Well, indeed, that's where you separate the wheat from the chaff. Wisdom, the weights of wisdom from Coach Ouma. Very complex sports fused with science. Very big terminologies that, in the long run, that is a man who has dedicated his life towards the development of sports in this country, now working under the Ministry of Sports. Greg, given an opportunity to go back to school, perhaps anything you'd want to do in terms of increasing your sports prowess, perhaps become a coach or even an athlete?
I'll focus on sports management, sports business management, because it's an area where there's so many opportunities, and of course using the experience you've had both as a journalist and of course having also been in the game, it's something that makes you feel that we start looking at the monetary side of it. How do we monetize sports? How do we make it more professional? In Africa, we take it as a mere recreational activity, and it's something that also always drags us back when we look at things that will be happening. Let's say when we go to the international meets like the Olympics, the World Athletics Championships, all of this. So I would go for sports business management.
Well, and it reminds me back in 2012 when we had Super Sports, the pay TV channel here, broadcasting our local league. I did get a chance to do a course with the Wits University, Johannesburg. Yeah. And that is what we were being told. It was called CPMD, Sports Program Management Development. It was a certificate in program management development, and it taught us just not only to see sports from the competitive angle. We look at it from a business angle. I'll give you an example. If you've gone to Tanzania just here, or you've gone when we have the Egypt derby, say a team like Zamalek, when Zamalek is playing Al Ahly, Gladys and Sylvia were pesetting for someone, and you can see now Rebecca Mwangi of Prisons on the lead. Rebecca Mwangi is born 2001, that is the 15th of June. She's now taken the lead with only 6 laps to go, with the duo of Sylvia Changeiwo and Gladys Jerob Kibor following closely. Very clear skies here from the Ulinzi complex. Very nice weather. Not very hot, not very cold. On the right side of the field, we have the javelin throw for the men. A lot of work needs to be put in this particular discipline. Apart from Julius Yego, we are here to see another sensation come from this country in this particular event. But Greg, I look at perhaps a few years, 10 years ago, we didn't have this much interest in javelin.
It wasn't there.
Same as the Omanyala fever. If Diego did it, why they can also do it? Is it the same fever?
I feel it's the same fever that is creeping in, but then we have to know that also someone like Diego, generational talent,
Self-made.
Yeah, generational talent, and it's so interesting to see this. It is the question now we should be asking ourselves. The interest is there, but do we have enough quality? Maybe we have, but then they've opened up a lot of doors for this upcoming, of course, like javelin throwers. I can see someone has done over 65 meters. Very nice, a very good throw. That is so encouraging because it means that they are way beyond. They're way beyond on the high jump. Someone wants to do a Duplantis.
Well, it did put mention of devolution. I think they're about 2015. That's when their stadia was complete, when Alfred Mutua was governor. Right now we have lots of facilities. Even others are private. If you go to places like Iten, other parts of the country have others are private. Perhaps is this a wake-up call even to the county governments to also include and also have more infrastructure? 2 laps to go in the women's 10,000 meters, because now we didn't have such a facility. So you can imagine, and now we have Chan and perhaps the other sporting activities that perhaps, and now we are
bidding for the World Athletics Championships in 2029. Interesting times. You've talked about private facilities like this, the Ulinzi complex. There's the police circle coming up. The county government of Siaya did a very good thing by laying a modern tartan track last month. Nakuru has already laid one. For the Machakos one, it's a little bit rusty. I think it needs a complete overhaul. But then that was just an eye-opener, because from there we could see athletes coming out of those places. We've seen the likes of Alex Munyao coming from, makes it even easier for them to do well. Remember, when the trials for the London Olympics in 2012 were held in Steeplechase Stadium in Eldoret. You saw the pandemonium that was there. You saw that urgent zeal.
I remember.
And of course, the performance in London was as a result of what we saw there.
Yeah, I was actually in London. So when you mentioned London at the time, Paul Otoma, the current governor of Busia, was a sports minister. So Kipchoge Keino was in charge of NOC. So I remember vividly some of the events of that particular year. Also watching Usain Bolt run live with my own eyes is one of the memorable events, and he broke a record.
Usain Bolt, and we broke the world record, the 800 meters.
Even David, on the same day, David Rudisha ran 141, and I think probably within an hour or so, Usain Bolt came in next. And I remember that Ari
Bolt also doing a 9:58.
We had Usain Bolt, we had Asafa, we had just back from injury, we had Tyson Gay, we had Johan Blake, my favorite. Had I've never seen an array of top world sprinters. Now 1 lap to go in the 10,000 meters. So Rebecca Mwangi has just won the race in a time of 32 minutes 27.06 seconds. Seems to be very strong. The javelin throw is still ongoing. In second position, we'll have Domtila Cheruto from the Nala Track Club. You can see the racers taking a toll on hands. In third position, we have Miriam Chemtai Kibet.
Chemtai, she's done 3 races this weekend.
Yeah, I saw her yesterday as well.
She did the 1500 meters. She did the 800, and she's done this one. Chemtai, quite a prospect.
Very strong indeed.
There'll be award ceremonies also.
Well, also remember Betika has a rewarding scheme for the top athletes for the podium finishes. That is position 1 to 3. A token of appreciation of 20,000 for the winner, 15 for the runners-up, and 10,000 for the second runners-up.
And it applies to all categories.
Yeah, so that also perhaps is an encouragement. That's why you are seeing so many numbers. Like yesterday we had so anytime from now we'll have Charity with a side interview with Rebecca Mwangi, who's the winner for the 10,000 meters. Charity, if you can hear me, you can take it away.
Dear by Rebecca Mwangi, she's just won the 10,000 meters with a time of 32 minutes 27.06 seconds. Rebecca, race imekuwa vipi kwako?
First of all, nashukuru Mungu kwa kukimbia jana na nimeshinda leo. Jana nilikuwa 1500 meters, nilikuwa tu like a speed work, nikasema ndio nijaribu tena nikimbia vizuri 10 kilometers. So I thank God nimeshinda. Yeah. Then na trainiwa na Mary Gugi. And I thank God, coach amenitrain vizuri. Amenipea moral, ameniambia naweza kimbia vizuri. Yeah.
Kwa hiyo kampi yenu nyinyi mnakuwa wasichana peke yake, si ndio? Wewe mna encourageana aje? How does it feel mkitrain mkiwa peke yenu hivyo?
Tukiwa pamoja tunawekana moral. Kuna mwenye ako na speed kuliko ule mwingine, anatuvuta, tunavutana sisi wenyewe. Yeah, na tunapeana moral. Namwambia kama leo imeshindikana, kesho ni lazima itakuwa sawa. Yeah.
Ukirudi salimia sana Miringugi, tutakuja kuwatembelea.
Ni sasa nitamsalimia sana.
All the best and congratulations.
And thank you so much.
Aha, that was Mary Ngugi, Rebecca Mwangi. She's won the 10,000 meters. She's saying that she's happy. Yesterday she did the 1,500 meters where she was doing it as her speed work, and now she's happy that she's been able to use that to perform well in the 10,000. She's hoping that she'll be trying to qualify for World Championships that will be held in Tokyo, Japan, in either 5,000 or 10,000 meters. Over to you, Mulemi, as we continue with the next sprints event.
Well, indeed, Charity, we've heard from Rebecca Mwangi herself explaining how the race was, her journey, where she trains, how she's been training, and as it has been the norm, most of the athletes, or rather majority of the athletes, are using this particular event for aiming to get a slot for the World Championships, just to put on the Kenyan colors and represent the country over the 25 lap distance. So shortly afterwards we'll have the 800 meters for the women. On the far end of the screen we have the men's javelin that is ongoing, and on the left side of the field we have the pole vault jump that is taking place. The 100 meters women's final, we have Doreen Walker in position number 1, 11.92. Loris Mora, 11.98. Mary Sophia, 12.06. Yvonne Mwangala, 12.21. Laventa Mutavi, 12.29. Lilian Aoko, 12.42. Susan Nyambura, 12.70. And Viona Wangari in a time of 12 seconds, 12.74 seconds. So Doreen Walker gets it in a time, won the race in a time of 11.92 seconds. The awarding ceremony there for the 100 meters men's final that you have Tyson Juma there being awarded is presented by his check by Paul Mutu, who is vice president of Athletics Kenya, senior vice president. And Kana Sabila was in second position.
I've just been talking to somebody about the events that happened during the 100 meters men final, and it was like someone like Dennis Mwai, the 20-year-old, was so devastated by the events, of course, being sent off, disqualified to use a better language, and it was like he was seeking a standard time to qualify that will enable him earn a scholarship. So you can imagine how devastated the young man is. He's not attained that.
Wow. So he has to wait for the next meet, perhaps?
What if the deadline was tomorrow?
So unfortunate. I really felt it, man. Really felt it.
Yeah, but we hope he still has he has some time to.
Yeah, he still has a bright future ahead. So
that's a clean jump.
If he's listening, or if anyone can pass him this message, let him not give up and lose hope. All is not lost.
There is always a next time as athletes prepare for the 800 meters.
The javelin throw is ongoing. Also the pole vault. Not very impressive scenes from where we are seated here. There's a particular mark that the athletes have not gone past. It's ending up to be a little bit comical because
there's one who's cleared the vault. Yeah. And that's quite encouraging because I think that's now that one will be tricky, really tricky. Even those fixing the vault,
they cannot reach that particular. They need taller people. As I was telling you, it's somehow comical anyway. I mean, it's in every situation there's an advantage and a disadvantage. Yeah. While others are celebrating, others are mourning, others.
The guys fixing the vault are not even tall enough, despite using the supports.
Looking at perhaps the next 5-10 years, there is need perhaps for the handlers of this particular sport to also invoke young guys into the technical know-how and the technical aspect of what happens in athletics, from timekeeping to being officials and everything, because looking at what is happening and the people that are here, perhaps in the next 10 years, most of them might not be very, very active. So we also need to see young guys taking up the mantle. That's why we always big up Athletics Kenya for having a very young and vibrant media team. And vibrant media team that ensures that our viewers get everything up to speed in real time. Led by our senior colleague Stanley Magut. There we have the finals of the women's 800 meters taking place. They've already left onto the second bench. Indeed, you can see them in systematic fashion, everyone trying to get the front position as they approach the 100-meter mark. On the 100-meter mark, this is the lap number 1, and they are slowly opening the gap. Goes the bell for the final lap. Vivian Chebet is on the lead. Remember, Vivian is an Olympian, having taken part in the Paris. She is an Olympian in bib number 133. Vivian Chebet Kiprotich. Karen Chepchirchir Serem now is in second position. But Chebet seems to be opening a gap at the 200-meter mark towards the 100-meter mark. All factors held constant, Greg. She's going to win it.
It looks more likely as she takes the home stretch, enjoying a healthy lead, and she's clear as daylight. She's going to win this one. Just be looking at the time that she's going to post in this one.
Looks very strong. 2 minutes 91 seconds.
1 seconds. And of course, Karen Chepchirchir coming in second.
I expected a sub 2.
She was close to that.
I was actually going to say 1. Then I saw.
But it's still an official time, of course.
Then your friends from Wilson Airport are not sleeping either.
They're not sleeping on the job. Now it's all about the men.
There was once we had also the 800-meter fever. We had Pamela Jelimo, Janet Jepkosgei. We even had Eldoret Express, Kapsabet Express. Then we had
long distance mode of transport.
Yeah, then we had Eunice Soom coming. I haven't heard much of her over the years. I don't know if she retired.
But now we have Kisii Express.
Now we have is it Kisii or Nyamira?
Is it Kisii or Nyamira Express? Nyamira Express.
Should be Nyamira, yeah. Should be should be should be Nyamira.
She was here yesterday. I haven't seen her run the 400 meters, so I think she attained what she really wanted. She ran out 51 in the 400 meters. Talking about Mary Mora. So the 800 men final will start in due course.
very creative shots from our able colleagues from the Athletics Kenya media team.
We're experiencing quite a delay in the start of the 800 meters men final, and we just hope it's gonna end soon. But I'm told we'll have the 1,500 meters final first before ushering in the 800 and the 4x4.
Though I'd expected, considering since yesterday we had the hits, so I'd expected that perhaps we are going to use the
ranking
times.
method.
Yeah, who posted faster time, who posted whatever time, just to know who's going to be number one to the last position.
That was the initial plan.
But seems the tables are changing, and that's a decision that is beyond me and you. We just have to sit and listen and watch. Technical expertise from our able coaches who have produced world-renowned athletes. Also, we have the javelin throw for the women.
It's ongoing.
That is ongoing.
But it is the 800 meters men final first of all. That's going to start. Nicodemus Kirui, Clifford Kip Koech, Silas Kip Korir, Shadrach Kimutai, Vincent Keter, Kelvin Kip Kogei, and Gabriel Siamiti. I can't see Keter in this one.
Yeah, because Keter is in there. Who's in lane number 5 from your start list?
Lane number 2, 3, and 4. We have to confirm who's there.
Well, now we have the 800 meters men's final that is due to start anytime from now. That is Collins Kwemoy, and there's Jeffrey. We've seen him a lot in the 400 meters in most of these legs. He's here in the 800 meters, perhaps looking for endurance, having done 400 to get his speed and onto their marks. Lane number 2 is empty, so it's not full house. Seems to be too much tension amongst the athletes. Greg.
Of course, after that delayed restart, there's always that tension that comes in.
The tension sometimes can make one. There they go. There they go. They've already left. Onto the second corner. They're coming into the inner lane. All of them are coming to lane number 1. At this point, everyone wants to have a vantage position, either come to the front or be in the outer lane, but you don't want to be boxed by any other athlete, because you never know, it may be your time to take off, and if you're boxed, you might not sprint as hard as you might want, Greg.
Obadia Kipleting.
They have Obadia Kipngetich on the lead. Seems to be a crowd favorite. There goes the bell. 1 lap to go.
There's also Cornelius two-way. It's really close, this one.
Obadia seems not to be relenting. He doesn't want to let go the leading position. He wants to stay at the pole position.
And Kipiego also coming in very strongly.
The man from the National Youth Service.
Cornelius two-way. But then it shifts to Kipiego. Kelvin.
Past the 200-meter mark. Now it's between Obadia and Kelvin. Obadia is now sprinting ahead, going forward. There you can see Obadia with his experience is now opening the gap. Kipiego seems to have drained himself, Greg.
Drained himself, especially on the home stretch, but it will be.
It is Obadia on the lead in a time of 1 minute 48.01 seconds.
It's quite fast than what he posted yesterday. Cornelius two-way. Of course, from the Kenya Defence Forces. And that signals
being in his home turf, he didn't want to let down his employer.
And the fans, of course. The fans like Ayumba Ayodi.
Yeah, senior colleague Ayumba Ayodi just passed by the studio. Ayumba, just give us your observation of this weekend meet. What's your takeout from what you've seen here and what you expect to see?
It has been a good weekend meeting, this being the 5th leg. Of course, you've ambushed me, but so far so good. These events are where you will see talent coming up, like the 400 meters men, a race where everybody expected Moresa to win, but the youngster has shown them dust. So
it came from nowhere.
Yes, came from nowhere. So yes, so it means we have talent, and such people is where the such event is where we actually mold and see the talent. Yes.
Final one, Ayumba, before I let you go. The inclusion of the universities. I mean, we can say it has been a struggle to have the universities have athletes participate in such events over the years, but now we are seeing them embrace these events. What do you have to say about that? Will it also help in having a big pool of talent in terms of talent acquisition and development as a country?
Let me tell you something. We have 70 Kenyan youngsters on scholarships to the US. That should tell you
through
something.
Sports.
That if Kenya we are to develop talent, just to have facilities at our universities and give these kids scholarships and other things. I mean, we'll stop that exodus. So let's let me give you an example of the Prefontaine Classic or the World Championship in 2022, if I'm not wrong. Where was it held? At a university field. You see, so we really need to develop, because there's that big vacuum. When there's no transition in Kenya as far as sports is concerned, we have a big vacuum there. So if we were to have a big base for talent search for the universities, I think we'll have good athletes across the board. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. That is assistant journalist Ayumba Ayodi from the Nation Media Group. Now we have the second final of the men's 800 meters.
And of course, 5 athletes in this one. Vincent Keter from Prisons. He had a very good outing yesterday. Is he able to replicate that as he hits the bell?
I remember during the Nakuru meet, he had just landed from, was it Germany? He just landed from Germany. So he did 2 races in a time of 48 hours.
48 hours.
Plus the traveling and the overlay and whatever have you. So look, he's a very strong lad.
former world junior champion in the 1,500 meters. Look at him now dictating the pace in the 800 meters.
I like the pace between them. Seems to be an equal race. I mean, between the top four.
That's an equal race, of course, and now it's all about experience. Who's got it? Vincent Keter in the 150.
But the man in second position is not letting go.
And this will come down to the home stretch. He comes from the outside, but Vincent Keter holding on in the inside.
Seems to have burned down. The race is taking a toll on him. Keter might not make it in pole position. He'll finish in second position in a time of 1:46.68. A rather faster heat compared to the first one that had a 1:48. Shadrack Kimutai Chilia from North Rift is the winner of this second heat of the 800 meters for the men in a time of 1 minute 46.68 seconds.
And of course, we are ready for the interview. So Charity, if you're ready, Shadrack Kimutai is alongside Charity. So Shadrack, you can take it away. Charity, take it away.
Meters for men. I'm joined here by Shadrack Kimutai. Shadrack, race imekuwa vipi kwako?
Imekuwa poa. Yeah.
So sahi kulingana vile plan yako ya execution ilikuwa gani?
It was about to ninge to body. Yes.
All the best.
Okay, thanks.
I'm also joined by a former world under 18 champion, world under 20 champion Vincent Keter. Keter, jana ulikimbia long distance, leo umekimbia 800. Preparation yako ya 1500 iko vipi?
Sahi nashukuru Mungu, leo nilikisema wacha ni trip 800. Nijaribu speed kidogo kama itawezekana. Lakini nimeona nimepata speed. Itabidi tena ningangana tena nipata more speed. Yeah.
So pengine kwa the next meet utakimbia race gani?
Narudi 1500 meters final. Eka meeting final nakimbia 1500 meters. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
That was Shadrack Kimutai and Vincent Keter. Shadrack is saying that his target was today to make it for the podium, and he's motivated by his performance. And then we had Vincent. Vincent yesterday he ran in the 10,000 meters, and today he's run in the 800. Vincent is a 1500 meter specialist. He said that he wanted to look for speed. He was checking on his speed performance, and he's happy that it's working on well, and he knows that his preparations for the 1500 will be perfect. Over to you, Victor and Mulemi, as we prepare with the relays.
And now it's time for the 4x400 meters. 3 teams in the women category: Fula Maureen, Yvonne Mwangala, Masiza Brenda, and Nevian Mishila will be running for Prison A. Kenya A will have Esther Mbagari, Mercy Okech, Mercy Chebet, and Mary Mora. And then in Kenya B will have Helen Siombua, Veronica Kerubo, Lanolin Aoko, and Gladys Mumbe. So 3 teams in the 4x400 meters. And there they walk towards the start line. Esther Mbagari in the Kenyan bib.
Bib number 583. Yesterday we had sort of a mix-up and some misfortunes with the men's relay and the handling of the baton. I don't know what to say about that. At some point, I saw the prison's team. Someone fell down. I don't know. There was some pushing and shoving. I hope those are some of the mistakes that they might correct before. They might correct before going to the world release. So there they are. Esther Bagari leading. Remember, she qualified for the world release together with her teammates.
Stambagari, Gladys Mumbe. So the prison team will be racing against Kenya A and Kenya B. Remember, most of these athletes are running in, they're preparing for the release. And of course, Coach Hillary is so excited about this.
Yes, Greg.
Yeah,
Because Team Kenya that is going to the world relays will be running in this race just to see where we are. So this is a race.
Team Kenya A and Kenya B.
Yes.
Against prisons.
Yes.
And this will be very interesting.
But it goes without saying that we expect Team Kenya to win this, unlike yesterday's 4x1, where Team Kenya was beaten
by prisons.
Yes.
Mary
It was
Moraa.
beaten by Utawala. They were running under the umbrella
What's
of
the
Utawala.
projected time for you in this race? What do you feel will be?
I hope they run 3:30.
3:30.
Yes.
And having the likes of Mary Moraa, Esther Mbagari, having Helen Siombua, Vanis Kerubo, Lanolin Aoko, and Mumbe in one team, that's Kenya B. Esther Mbagari, Mercy Okech, Mercy Chebet, and Mary Moraa in one team. How excited are you about, let's say, Team Kenya A?
I'm excited about Team Kenya A because that is the team that will be running
at the World Relays.
At the World Relays. So we expect faster times from them. That is our expectation.
Very interesting, of
yes.
course.
And it goes without saying that everybody has to give their 100%, because in 2 weeks' time they should be flying out on the 7th of May, and the event will be on the 10th.
Helen Siombua, Vanis Kerubo, Lanolin Aoko, and Gladys Mumbe in Kenya B. And of course, for the prisons side, Wafula Maureen, Yvonne Mwangala, Masiza Brenda, who was disqualified yesterday in the 100 meters.
Yes.
And Nevian Michila.
On Team Kenya A, you see, on the Team Kenya B, there's something that I need to clear and let it be out there. Lanolina Aoko, this is her third the third competition of her career. Ever. And she made the first race she ran in Nakuru.
Yes, that was during the 4th AK meet.
And then in her first trial in Team Kenya, she made the team as a number 3. So this is quite encouraging. Of course, being coached by Coach Dennis Mwanzo was doing a good job. Lanolin was a footballer. Last year she was playing, she was a footballer, yes. Then somebody, Dennis Mwanzo and the rest, changed her mind. That come and try this in athletics. Then she did her first Betika race in Machakos, where she was in the podium. Then here she is in the Team Kenya.
Lanolin Aoko, of course, footballer by trade.
Yes.
But, right now, she is in this Team Kenya B.
Team Kenya B, where the starter will be Helen Siombua, who is a former national record holder for the 400 meters. Also, there will be Vanis Kerubo, who is an African champion in the 400 meters hurdles. We have Lanolin Aoko. Then we have Gladys Mumbe, who is the Eastern Region champion.
And of course, Esther Mbagari will be starting for Kenya A. She's the one who will be starting for Kenya A, Esther Mbagari.
Esther Mbagari, who is transformed from the 100 meters. She won the Betika final in the 100 meters. Then we have Mercy Okech, who's the national champion over the distance. We have Mercy Chebet, who also was 100, 200 meters, but moved up the ladder to the 400. Then we have, of course, the 800 meters world champion Mary Mora in that team. We're waiting for a very fast.
You were saying you're projecting at 3:30.
I'm waiting. I'm hoping we can run 3:30 or under 3:30. 3 minutes 30 seconds.
400 meters women hurdle finals. 3 teams, 1 prize, but all of them podium finish. The Ulinzi Sports Complex. Will it be Kenya A, Kenya B, or the Prisons? And off they go very nicely, and straight away you can feel the adrenaline in this team. It's Kenya Prisons currently in the lead, but then look out for Esther Mbagari as she takes the inside lane. She is in the lead currently. She is in Team Kenya A, Esther Mbagari.
Running so nicely.
Running so nicely, Esther Mbagari. She seems to have transitioned fully to the 400 meters without any squabbles.
Greg, there's a difference. You see how she's handling the baton? That's how you handle a baton in the 4x1. In the 4x4, that baton has to face up, because there's a lot of wind resistance going into the baton and coming
So
out. Yes, it needs to face up, technically.
And Esther Mbagari will be handing over to
Mercy Okech.
Mercy Okech.
Clocked a 52 over that distance.
And the distance is growing bigger and bigger. Mercy Okech on the turn.
Oh, she's really after time.
As she takes the inside lane. Mercy Okech, it's Kenya A.
Gregory,
Kenya B.
she means business.
Mercy Okech, remember, she did very well in Nakuru, winning the 400 meters women final. And she's back here showing what she's able to do as she heads to the home stretch, the 100-meter mark.
And
Mercy Okech.
yes, she means business. This is business now.
It is Kenya A who are in control of this one.
Chasing after time.
And now she'll be handing over to Mercy Chebet. Clean change over there between Mercy and Mercy. And now it is Mercy Chebet from Kericho who's extending that lead. It's huge, it's big, but it's a very confident run from the Kenya A team. Heading into the last changeover at 1:59. And Mercy Chebet knows that she has a job to do. She'll be handing over to Mary Mora in a bit. She knows that she has a very comfortable lead. And this was all started by Esther Mbagari, who handed over to Mercy Okech, and now it is Mercy Chebet. And look at now, the next changeover will be Mary Mora.
Greg, this will be faster than a 3:30.
We are waiting to see if this
100 over 2:33.
Changeover now. It is Mary Mora steaming away from the rest. Mary Mora. She is on fire. She knows that she's got this. She knows that she has a bigger competitions in the next 2 weeks. And this is the perfect place to start practicing on this one. Mary Mora into the 150. She looks confident, and the distance is like 30-40 meters. And it's all about racing against the time. What time will she be posting? We'll be looking at that. It's now on at 3:11.
This will be a 3:25.
And it is Mary Mora being cheered on as she crosses the finishing line. We'll be looking at the time. It is at 3:25.80. It met your expectations.
Yes,
or it exceeded your expectations.
It exceeded.
Mary Mora, of course, leading Team Kenya A to victory in this 400 meters women final.
Greg, this is one of the fastest times that has ever been run on Kenyan soil. 3:25.80. So the girls are ready.
As you say, the girls are ready because the World Relay Championships will be taking place in Guangzhou in the next 2 weeks, precisely between the 10th and 11th of May. So, Team Kenya A winning the women's 4x400 meters. Also, a couple of field events taking place, including the Javelin, as the men walk towards the starting point of the 4x400 meters. So for the 4 by 400 meters men, Kenya B will be running in lane number 1. But before that, before I give you the lineup, of course, Charity is ready for the interviews. She'll be speaking to Mary Mora. That will be happening in a bit. So Charity, if you're ready, please take it away. Charity is still preparing for that interview with Mary Mora, part of Team Kenya A, and on your screens right now are the participants in the 4 by 400 meters men. Kenya B has Kevin Kiprotich, Boniface Mweresa, Brian Tinega, and Kelvin Kipkorir. In Team Kenya A, George Mutinda, Alan Kipiego, Aaron Cheminingwa, and David Sayanek. Nairobi has Peace Wayaki, Rogers Ouma, Nicholas Kola, and Ivan Edalia. NYS, Davis Andaso, Isaiah Sayanek, Victor Owino, Gabriel Kamakis, and individual entries, Kevin Bira, Silas Serem, Aaron Seriba, and Patrick Kipkirui. The ladies did a 3:25.
3:25.80. That was one of the fastest times.
Is it the best time ever recorded?
I have to look at the statistics.
As you look at the statistics, of course, we'll be heading down to the track side. Charity is ready for the interviews. Charity, over to you.
Thank you so much, Mlemi and Coach Hilary. I'm joined here by Mary Mora. She was the finisher in the 4x4 team. Mora, mumefikisha target time mlikuwa mnataka?
Ya, tumefikisha time yenye tulikuwa tumesema. Na tulikuwa tumesema tukikimbia 3:29 Simba. But I was shocked nimeona tumekimbia 3:25. Yeah.
Hiyo inawaambia nini as a team?
Asa timu naona tuko na hiyo motisha ya mazoezi, tukishirikiana vizuri na tupige mazoezi venye tumepanga. Our target ni kumaliza kwa podium. Yeah.
All the best and congratulations.
Thank you.
That was Mary Mora. She's the current world champion in the 800 meters and also an Olympics bronze medalist. She's in the team for the world relays, and they were targeting to compete below 3 minutes and 28 seconds, and they are happy because they have competed and set a new personal best, which is 3 minutes and 25 seconds. Over to you, Mlemi, as we continue with the 4x4 for the men.
Thank you so much, Charity. And Coach Hilary, you got some breaking news.
Yes, I'm just looking at the records, and I'm seeing the 3:25.80 is a Kenyan record.
It's a Kenyan record.
Upon ratification.
Upon ratification.
Yes, because the record stands at 3:28.94.
Set in which year?
Set in 1987 at the All African Games.
1987.
1987. At the 12th. At the All African Games.
So Mercy Chebet, Mercy Akech, Esther Mbagari, and Mary Mora have set the new record in the 4x400 meters.
Yes, and we have to be clear that upon ratification.
Was the wind okay? We start with that.
Yes, it was. But you know what? I'm not sure. I hope the record will stand. I'm just hoping. Yes.
It should stand. As we gear up for the men.
You're not asking my prediction on the men?
I think I should.
303.
What 303? What's
Kenya's record in the 4x4?
4x4?
In the 4x4, we have 4x4 Kenyan record is 259.63.
259.
Yes.
Set by who?
Set at the Olympics Games in Spain, 1992. Set by David Kitur, Samson Kitur, Simon Kipkemboy, and Simon Kemboy.
259.
259.63.
Don't you see that happening again? Now that the ladies have set the standards.
It should. It should. But I just wish that my boy from the universities, George Mutinda, was running in that team. Because he ran a very good 45.82 today.
In the 400 meters men final.
Yes, and he was faster than some athletes who are already in camp.
Very interesting. 3:25 is the new Kenyan record set by the two Mercies, Esther Mbagari and Mary Mora. So a new Kenyan record has been set, awaiting ratification, but it is, I don't think there's gonna be something contentious about it, because up to now,
Yes.
just witnessed a great race here at the Ulinzi Sports Complex. And request for silence for start in this race. It's calm before storm. And that's a clean start.
Kevin Kipkorir starting for Team Kenya A. Kevin Kipkorir starting for Team Kenya A, then Mutinda for Kenya B.
George Mutinda
In a blue jersey, the 569.
569.
Kipkorir Kevin 597.
Kelvin Kiprotich and Kelvin and
Greg.
George Mutinda.
I think
George
people have,
Mutinda seems to be on
yes.
fire. George Mutinda from the universities representing Kenya A.
Team Kenya B handing the baton first. Now it's Muresa versus Alan Kipiego.
It's Moresa versus Alan Kipiego.
Muresa on the inside lane, Alan Kipiego on the outside lane. Tall, slender guy. 577 and 599. Moresa in the lead. Kipiego second.
The man from the Kenya Defence Forces, Boniface Mweresa and Alan Kipiego on the home stretch. They are coming really nicely on that bend, and it is Mweresa who will be trying to stay away from Kipiego. And now
It's Tinega versus Cheminingwa.
And Cheminingwa, very interesting.
Remember, Cheminingwa is a 800 meter athlete. Tinega is a 400 meter specialist.
And look at the distance between Brian
Yes.
and Cheminingwa.
And
Cheminingwa trying so hard, using the long strides to close the gap between him and Brian Tinega. It is Brian Tinega still in the lead as they head to the hem. And it is Cheminingwa in second place currently. But it's Brian Tinega still holding on to that lead. Cheminingwa trying so hard, but then it is Brian Tinega who just about holds on to that one into the last changeover.
We have Kevin Kipkorir versus Sanayek.
And that is Kelvin Kipkorir who's steaming away. Sayanek trying so hard to catch up. Will he? We are waiting to see the distance is growing bigger. This is going to be very interesting.
Do you know what? We might see something big today.
Kelvin Kipkorir, we are just checking on the time. You said it was 2:59 in Barcelona.
Yes.
Let's see if this is going to happen. It is going to
No.
be just about
300.8 now.
by a second.
Yes.
But you predicted a 3:03. We've done a 3:03. These boys are ready. These boys are ready.
Yes. The team is ready.
The team is ready for the world
team is
relays.
ready for the world relays. And remember, they're running this faster times on altitude. Just remember, this is on altitude. When they go at sea level, we might see something faster than this.
The ladies did at 3:25.
Yes.
Currently, we are speaking about, we are talking about the record.
Yes.
Kenyan record in the 4x400 meters.
Yes.
Right now, the men have, this is the leading time in Kenya over a very long time.
Yes, over a long time.
I think from Barcelona, we've not seen such
We've
an
never,
impressive
yes,
time
we've not
in the
seen such.
4x400.
Of course, yes.
This time could have qualified us for the Olympics.
Yes, true.
Because at the Olympics, I think it was at 3:03.
3:03.
So the boys are ready, the girls are ready. We are ready for the world relays.
And remember, even the team B Kenya has run at 3:02.
Which is well within
yes, well within
the
the
for the world championship.
yes, we are ready.
Times, and of course, now it is time for the 1,500 meters.
So warming up to get onto the track, the athletes for the women's 1,500 meters. Remember, this is a straight final for the women's race. What an adrenaline-packed 4x4 meter final. Coach,
yes,
the baton exchange.
Greg.
I don't know what you saw in the baton exchange, because I thought there's some rules that were breached there.
Yes, from our side, we could see a breach of rule.
Okay, we just hand over to Charity for the interview. You'll come and comment on that.
So much, Mulemi and Hillary. I'm sure Hillary has given insightful analysis on how the guys maybe could be able to target to lower their time for the 4x4. I'm also joined here by David Sanayek. Sanayek, mulikuwa mmepanga vipi nyinyi kama timu ya Kenya Relay?
Kenya Relay ni kama tumejipanga mzuri. Tuko na maboys wazuri. Sasa hii tuko sure tutakonga time yenye tulikuwa tunataka. So ni kwamba Mungu tu. Yeah.
Mkirudi kambi mnapanga aje?
Tukirudi kambi ni kwenda kusharpen up, kwa sababu tumeshajua mahali tuko sahi na tunajua mbele iko sawa. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm also joined by Kevin Kipkorir. Kelvin, so far baton handling imekuwa seamless kwenu?
Yeah, venye tumekimbia hiyo nimeona at least baton ina flow vile inafaa. Yeah, na tunaona tunaelekea mahali. Tukiendelea hivyo at least tunaingia world champ na time nzuri. Yeah.
Target time yenu
258. Yeah.
Vile leo mjeza ku make hiyo 258 ilikuwa about 3 minutes. Mundaenda kufanya nini sana kusai? You have a few days kufika wa 4 relays.
Leo tukipanga hii team kuanzia juzi, target ilikuwa ni 300 na tumeiweka hiyo 300. Yeah, na hope tukiendelea kutrain venye tuna train, naona inakuja tutaweka hiyo time. Yeah.
All the best and congratulations.
Thank you.
That was David Sanayek and Kevin Kipkorir. They are saying that today they are targeted to make it about 3 minutes, to lower their time to 3 minutes and 0 seconds. And they're saying that now they'll be targeting to lower it to a sub 3, which is 2 minutes and 28 seconds. Over to you, Mulemi and Hillary, as we continue with the 1,500 meters women final.
Yeah, Coach, you're talking about the baton exchange for the 4x4.
From where we were seated, we could see some breach of rules, but we might be wrong, because we could see on the last changeover, they took the baton in front of the changeover. But, we have technical officials down there. They didn't raise any flag. So we could be wrong.
For the benefit of our listener or our viewer,
yes,
that applies during the last changeover alone.
When you are changing on the first changeover, you have to maintain on your lane until the first 100 meters, then you break in. On the second changeover, you take it, there are dotted marks 10 meters just behind the finishing. The third one, you receive at the line. And then on the fourth one, you change it at the finishing point. So our guys took it in front of the finishing point.
We also saw a mishap yesterday during I think the second changeover for the 4x1.
For the 4x1.
Actually, the third changeover.
Yes.
Now, how do you hold your baton when you are running? Because I understand there's some scientific.
When running the 4x4, the baton should face up and down. You hold it
in upward position. Straight.
You shouldn't run and the wind is getting into the baton and coming out on the other side. There's some wind resistance, so it slows you down. For you to run efficiently, you have to hold it, the baton facing up. Yes, so that no wind gets into the baton. You know, it's hollow. Then in the relay, in the 4x1, you run with the baton now facing towards the direction to which you are going to hand over the baton.
Well, the final lap in the women's 1,500 meters, still on the issue of the baton yesterday. We saw there's a team, I don't know if it was Kenya B, that dropped, and we also saw the Prisons team also having some push and shove, and you had an athlete falling down. We've seen in the Olympics big names like Javelin from the American team, dropping the baton during the Olympic finals. Coach,
yes,
baton training, what can you say about that? Because I see it's a very vital thing, especially when it comes to the relays.
This is called a relay because it is technical. That is where the race is won or lost. Like you've seen here today in the 4x4, Kenya B just lost his on the second changeover. Yes, because of just the baton handling.
Well, indeed, we have the finals of the 1,500 meters, and the race has just ended. A lot of mixed reactions from the men's 4x4. From the 4x4 relays, a lot of technical explanations just for people. Also, there seems to be confusion in the 1,500 meters because the bell was rung earlier and the race has not ended. So the athletes who've stopped, but yet they have one lap, and
you can see the experienced Odira. The experienced Odira is still running.
Odira knows,
and you know she'll win this race, and the person in second position will be number 2.
She was counting. Odira was counting her laps, so she knows that. That is out of experience. So she's continuing. The only 2 athletes are.
Big confusion here at Ulinzi Sports Complex over the 1,500 meters. But the athlete running, Lilian Odira, is
coincidentally, perhaps the athlete who will finish in position number 3 maybe would have been the last.
Yes, the person who's behind Odira is coming for the silver medal. There will be no bronze because all of them dropped out.
But now, I mean, being a final now, who do you blame? Because this is
you blame the official and you also blame the athlete. You need to count your lap.
Do you appeal? Assuming if it was a
yes, they have to appeal. Yes, they will appeal, and the race will be run again.
It's very unfortunate for the particular athletes who stopped when the bell was rung. You can see they are arguing, the technical team arguing, the timekeepers.
And remember, the track referee is there and she's advising.
Lilian Odira has won a time of 3 minutes 5.25 seconds. So actually that time, that the 3 minutes, is what the confusion is all about. I don't know.
You know, Victor, even this 3:05 will be a world record in the men, because the world record is 3:26.00 for men. So this 3:05.25 was on the one more lap to go.
But it's so quite unfortunate and embarrassing, especially on the final event and on the last day. I mean, the athletes who prepared for this event for days, for months, only to be only to be made of minced meat. You can see them walking on the far end of the track, holding their head in so much disbelief. Indeed, some of these technical issues happen, and they become beyond their athletes and also beyond the technical team. Remember, this is the 5th Athletics Kenya Betika track and field, and I'm crossing over to Charity for a side interview. Charity, if you're ready, you can. I see she's getting ready, but Charity, if you're ready, you can take it away.
In the lap scoring, I'm joined here by the actual winner for the 1500 meters, who is Lilian Odira. Odira, race ya leo imekuwa vipi kwako?
It has been a challenging race because I think the technical didn't do the right thing, and I don't know what to speak about the race. Yeah.
Going forward, kwa mazoezi utafocus na nini?
So far I'm still training towards the road to Tokyo, and I'm hoping for the best, and my prayer is to make it to the team that will be heading to Tokyo. Yeah.
Thank you so much and congratulations. I'm also joined by number 2. Kwa majina unaitwa nani?
Frida Bosibori Abuga.
Frida, performance ya leo imekuwa vipi kwako?
According to the say performance, haijakuwa rahisi. Nimejaribu kukimbia hata kama kulikuwa na some confusion. Tulipiwa kengera after tumebakisha 1 lap. But I managed nikimbie tu nimalize tu. Yeah.
So sasa hii unaenda kutrainia wapi?
Narudi Ngong.
Okay. All the best and congratulations.
Thank you very much, madam.
That was Bosibori and Lilian Odira. There was a mistake with the lap scoring, but they are still, nevertheless, they are happy with the performance that they have put in today. Over to you, Hilary and Mulemi, as we continue with the men 1500 final.
Coach, I can see you running and panting. You have some news.
Yes, I have good news. The time that men have run 3:00:89 is the world best. So they have a world leading time of 3:00:89. They are ranked number 1 in the world with that time of 3:00:300. And the women 3:25:80 is ranked 10th in the world this year. So, and you know, top 14 in the world at the world relays qualify for the world championship. So if they run the same way and reach top, when they reach the final, they'll have qualified for the world championship, same as men. If they just replicate this time at the world relays, we'll be at the world championship.
Well, very positive news. They are hearing that our men's team is top in the world and our women's team is position 10. So with a little bit of sprucing up here and there, they are deemed, of course, to be world beaters. On your screens there, we have the final event of the day, that is 1500 meters for the men. That is soon about to begin. And in between there, you'll see those athletes are taking part in the women's javelin throw. But then again, there's the hula baloo about the 1500 meters where the bell was rung when there was still 1 lap to go.
Well, I just hope it doesn't happen for the men. But as an athlete, you need to count your laps.
True.
As you run. You cannot beat the system. That is it. Because when they were reaching the last lap, it was 3:05. So they should have continued to run, irrespective of the bell.
So the 1500 meter men's race is underway. Looks a very fast one. But does it mean that they entirely depended on the officials? As you say, I mean, you also need to count, you've done lap 1, lap 2.
Yes. So they don't have a case there unless they appeal so that they can run again and beat Lilian Odira's time of 4:25.
I don't know if that will apply because it is not an isolated case. It is not an isolated case because Odira did not run alone. There's also another athlete who proceeded and came in second position. And the argument is, I'm saying, coach, it is not an isolated case because you have two athletes who went and finished and
Yes.
gold and silver.
Yes.
So in a time of 4 minutes 21.64.
Yes, that is the winning time.
So now, they had an option of going.
Yes.
The coaches.
Because they were not off the track, they were still on the
Still on
track. They
but
should
people
have
are telling them
continued.
to proceed. They're shouting,
Yes.
Endeleni, but
They refused.
I'll not use the word refused, but they opted. You're saying it as is, coach. So very nice for the men's sprinting team. Today, Mweresa came guns blazing in Stanners.
Yes. And that one was a sign of something big happening.
I saw when he got his baton. This guy, he looked at this guy despite him being tall. And he was like, wewe tutaonana.
Mm-hmm.
Once he took the baton, he decided to disappear. He ran like lightning. Later on today, probably a few hours from now, we'll have the Diamond League Wanda Diamond League in China. And we'll have very own athletes taking part, including Faith Kipyegon. We'll be attempting to run an under 4, a sub 4 in the 1 mile.
She wants to run the sub 4 minutes 1 mile, not in this race, but later on in Paris.
There goes the bell. There is one lap. This is the final lap of the 1500 men's race. And it seems to be the man from Awira is in pole position, ahead, slowly opening the gap. But that's Vincent Mkenya Gwachi from Nyanza South now coming in. But Nelson Mapi Setek has decided to open up the gap. And
3:40.36 seconds.
And he wins in a time of 3 minutes 40.36 seconds. That is a 1500 meters for the men. And with that 1500 meter men's race, that marks the end of today's broadcast, the end of today's events. Here are the 5th Athletics Kenya Betika track and field meet from the Ulinzi Sports Complex, coming to you live from Nairobi's capital, from Kenya's capital, Nairobi. For me, it's been a very incisive weekend full of adrenaline, full of competition. For me, I just want to say and the entire media team, together with my colleague Coach Hillary, just want to say a very goodbye till the next weekend meet. which will also be held here on the 16th and the 17th of May. So for me, it's a goodbye.
Days here at the Ulinzi Sports Club, and we've seen at the Ulinzi Sports Complex, and we've seen new champions rising up. You've seen new talents, athletes also perfecting their techniques here, others looking for endurance and others also looking for speed. Mulemi, what are some of the giveaways that you've had in this race?
The national record in the 4x400 meters women, it was 3-0. That is impressive. It's not what we even expected. In fact, we were thinking about a 3:03, and also for the men, of course, I can say the relay team is ready. And you look at how the 400 has turned out to be a new champion in town. George Mutinda just tearing the field apart. It's been a very great day of athletics, but I'm sure those who have watched home, away, and of course across the globe have really enjoyed watching new talents crop up. And of course, it's been wonderful to me. It shows a sign that maybe the road to Tokyo is getting better, and we might have surprises in Team Kenya as the year goes by. And of course, after the 5 legs, I can always say that Kenya has a huge pool of talent.
I'm also impressed by the ladies. Being led by Olympic bronze medalist and also the world champion Mary Mora. We've also had Mercy Chebet doing very well. We're Esther Bagari and I've forgotten the other athlete's name.
There's Mercy Aoko. And I think the team A in the women's 4x400 meters, the two masses, then Esther Mbagari, she's transitioned really well in the from the 100 and 200 meters to the 400 meters. It's what many people really wanted her to do, and her being there and ensuring that she stays on top and she keeps on improving on a day-to-day basis. Look at how the first changeover was. She had a very healthy lead, and that really shows you that it was something that was going to actually make a mark. And I'm really happy for her. I'm happy for the boys, Kelvin Kiprotich and the likes. They've done really well, of course, in the men's and in the men's category. And I think on 10th and 11th of May, we are in for a very good surprise as Kenyans, because the fastest times to be run on Kenyan soil, 3:25 and 3 flat in the men and women. To me, it's something that is really huge, and it spells a very good advantage. I'm like, why didn't this happen last year, a time like this, so that we could go to Miramas knowing that we are going to compete at the Olympic Games?
You know what kept the sprinters active over the off season, but I'm a bit worried about the 4x100 meters, about the baton exchange. It's not as seamless I would like it to be, and maybe there's something that needs to be done before we move on to the world relays. And also I'm happy we've had the likes of Shadrach Kimtai winning in the 800. We also had Vincent Keter.
Yeah, Nelson also winning the 1,500 meters, the last race. Not many people expected him to come out top, and it just shows you that every time we have an improvement in the way things are running, and of course credit to Nairobi for organizing such a good event. Barnaba Korir, wherever you are, he's doing a wonderful job to ensuring that also the youth come out really nicely, and it is what we want to see. We have one leg to go. I assume it will still be here, because I'm not sure if the Nyayo National Stadium will be ready. We want all these facilities ready so that these sprinters, everyone who's running, makes sure that he has a feel of, or she has a feel of, the international standards that they are trying to create Athletics Kenya.
Actually, they've already started the laying of the tartan track at the Nyayo. I passed there today in the morning. They've dug up. The sixth leg of the athletics track and field will be done here on 16th and 17th of April. Hopefully, I've gotten the date right, but that will be the sixth leg. I'm looking forward to the athletes who will be after that. We'll be mostly focusing on the institutional championships and then moving on to the Kipkeino. I'm also excited about the Diamond League that is starting today. And you?
2 p.m. to 6 p.m. This will be great, of course. We are looking forward to seeing the likes of Beatrice Chebet back in action. Faith Kipyegon attempting the 1,000 meter record, the 1 mile record. And of course, Ferdinand Omanyala will be running at exactly 3 p.m. East Africa time. So many exciting times. Of course, Ferdinand posting 10 flat in Botswana, and is aiming to lower that. And I'm sure he's going to do that, because you look at that field, it's a rich field. Bednarek, the likes of Jian. These are great athletes, and of course, it will bring the best out of this. So this has started off well. The fifth Athletics Kenya Betika weekend meet, it has started the day off well, and we are sure now we are going to watch the Diamond League in Germain. It should be great, and I really hope that the Kenyans come out on top.
I'm also excited about the performance of the under-18 team that was in Zanzibar. We've had a couple of the youngsters scooping a lot of medals over there and representing us so fantastically. Kudos to the team and to the coaches that were there. There are also some kids events that were going on during the week. It's a beehive of activities going on around athletics, the election of NOC, which unfortunately didn't happen. I hope everyone will come to an agreement and be able to conduct the election. Until next time, from me and Mulemi is Kwaheri. See you next time, and we love you all. All our fans, wherever you're watching us from Japan, China, Uganda, we're saying hi back to you.
Goodbye, and take